All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakawidash, Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, they rule well. And a salute and a shalom to all the Akim that are out there labor pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. Not sure of the title yet, but I was at work and I was thinking about the story of Nabal and his wife Abigail and what Nabal did. Okay, because Nabal, he insulted King David, and he also insulted his messengers. And basically, Nabal looked at King David as a nobody, basically. Now, first, let's get the definition of Nabal's name. Nabal, yep. Right? So, Nabal means fool. Nabal means fool. Right? Hold on. Yep, Nabal. Okay. Hold on. This is the definition of a fool. A person who acts unwisely or imprudently or a silly person. All right, hold on. Calling someone a fool means they are lacking good judgment, acting foolishly, or easily tricked. And Nabal was lacking good judgment. All right, Nabal was talking shit. That's what he was doing. He was talking shit. All right, when it comes to a man of Yahawashi, like King David, you need to watch what you say, man. You need to watch what you say, because it don't matter if you like him or not. It doesn't matter. Watch what you say about the men of Yahawashi. All right, now it says, and there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel. And the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and a thousand goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. It says, but the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb, right? Churlish. Churlish. Okay, churlish. That's Quasha. Quasha means hard, cruel, severe, hard, difficult, fierce, stubborn, stiff-necked, kind of stiff-necked. In Nabal, he was stiff-necked. He was cruel. He was cruel unto King David, a man after Yahawah's own heart. It says, And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to get you up to Carmel and go to Nabal and greet him in my name. All right. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, peace be both to thee, and peace to, and it says, and peace be to thine house, and peace be to all that thou hast. Right? So David came, right? So David sent a very respectful message through his servants. Right? Now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds which were with us, we heard them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all that were in Carmel. Right? It say, I am told that it is sheep shearing time. While your shepherds stayed among us near Carmel, we never harmed them, and nothing was ever stolen from them. Right? So King David, he when Nabal's sheep shearers were shearing the sheep, while they were among them near Carmel, David was respectful to him. Right? Ask thy young men, and they will shew thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes. For we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand, unto thy servants, and to thy son David. Right? Hold on. Sheep shearing time, right? Let me see something real quick. I never looked this up before. Uh, uh, let's see. Huh. Okay. It says, I looked up, in the ancient world, what time of the year did men shear their sheep? It says, in the ancient world, sheep were typically shorn in the springtime, specifically around mid-June, to avoid the risk of hypothermia from cold weather. Shearing was a major event that marked the end of winter. After the lambing season, and was often a time of celebration and feasting. Ah, wow. Okay, I never knew that. Wow. So now okay, yeah, okay. It says, and when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants now a days that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? It says, who is this fellow David? Nabal sneered to the young men. Who does this son of Jesse think he is? There are lots of servants these days who run away from their masters. Should I then, it says, should I take my bread and my water and my meat that I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to a band of outlaws who come from who knows where? Man, so Nabal basically said, David, who do he think he is? So he basically told David's servants, his young men, right? His servant, basically, how dare he come and ask me this? Are you serious? David's young men turned their way and went again and told him, it says, and came and told him all those things. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded every man his sword. And David also girded his own, it says, and David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men to says, and 200 abode by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on him. Right. Basically, like, Abigail, you're Nabal's wife, right? Okay, cool. Hey, just to let you know, King David, he sent messengers and to salute your husband Nabal, and he disrespected us. He disrespected us, and he disrespected David. It says, but the young men, it kind of says, but the men were very good, were very good unto us. We heard them. We were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when they were in the fields. They were a wall unto us, both day and night, and while they were with them, says, and while we were with them, keeping the sheep. Now therefore, and know, it says, therefore know and consider what thou wilt do. For this evil is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. Right? So they basically said, hey, Abigail, your husband tripping. But hey, we gonna handle it. Says, then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. It say, and it was so as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David has said, surely in vain I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. And he hath quite, and it says, and he hath requited me evil for good. So and more also do Yahawah unto the enemies of David, if I leave all that pertain to him by the morning light, any that pisseth against the wall, right? Basically, may Yahawah strike me and kill me if even one man of his household is still alive tomorrow morning. Hold on, man. Hold on. Woo-hoo. Man. Hey, man. Hey, hold on, man. Maybe. Hold on. It says in the ancient world, a person should not disrespect the king because it was considered a crime of treason called lese majesté. I guess that's how you say that. Punishable by death, and was believed to be an offense against Yahawah or a threat to social order. Disrespecting the king could also lead to political instability, such a rebellion and bloodshed. Khan says, such as rebellion and bloodshed. So Nabal, he committed a crime, aka treason. He disrespected King David. He insulted him. Right, man. In the ancient world, man, men didn't play about their respect. All right, man. The East is very big on respect. Right? So David said, hey, may Yahawah strike me down if any man of Nabal's household is alive tomorrow morning. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and fell at his feet, and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thy handmaid. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, thy handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send. Now therefore, my Lord, as Yahawah liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing Yahawah hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own, it says, with thine own hand, now let thine enemies And they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. Mm. Mm. Now this blessing which thy handmaid hath brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord. Right? Now, basically, Abigail, she basically asked King David to show Nabal mercy. All right, because she even knew that her husband Nabal was a fool. She even knew that. What's that? What's that? What's Hold on. It's a scripture. Man. Let's see. Let's see. What's that? This is another one I'm looking for. Hold on. What's that? Salaki, okay, man. Salaki. I gotta find this. Oh, man. What's that? Let's see. Is this it? Is it John 12? Let me see. It might be John 12. Hold on. John 12. Oh, oh man. Oh man. Mm. What? Come on, man. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, found it. I'll get that right now. Right? Luke 7 and 44. But I'll start up. 43. It says, Simon answered and said, well, 44 says, and he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she hath washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in hath not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou hast not anointed, but this woman hath anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. See? So this woman, she she washed Yahawashi's feet, right? She worshipped him and all that, right? And her sins were forgiven. She received mercy. Now, Nabal's wife Abigail, she asked for mercy for her husband Nabal. She brought David what? Gifts and presents and all that. Basically saying, my Lord, I apologize I apologize for what Nabal said. I apologize for that. I didn't see what happened. I didn't see your service. I didn't see nothing. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thy handmaid. Right? And she asked mercy for herself also, saying, please forgive me if I have offended you in any way. Right? I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thy handmaid. For Yahawah will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battles of Yahawah, and even, as Khan says, and evil hath not been found in thee all thy days. Yet a man is risen to pursue thee, and to seek thy soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound, as Khan says, shall be bound in the bundle of life with Yahawah thy power, and the souls of thine enemies, them shall he sling out, as out of the middle of a sling. And it shall come to pass when Yahawah shall give, it says, and it shall come to pass when Yahawah shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he hath spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee king, and have appointed thee ruler over Israel, that this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that thou hast shed blood costless, has shed blood costly, costless, or that my Lord hath avenged himself. But when Yahawah shall have dealt well with my Lord, then remember thine handmaid. And David said to Abigail, Blessed be Yahawah, power of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which hast kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with mine own hand. Right, man? So King David was coming to slay Nabal for what he said. For in very deed, as Yahawah, power of Israel, liveth, which hath kept me back from hurting thee, except thou hast hasted to come to meet me, surely there hath, it says, surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall, right? So David said, hey, David said, hey, you do know I was coming to slay Nabal's household. I'm just letting you know. Let's say what every idle word the men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Right? By thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. See? So Abigail, by her words, she was what? Justified. See what it says, what? A soft answer. It says what? A soft answer turneth away wrath. So David received her hand that which she had brought him, and said unto her, Go in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and have accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king, and Nabal's heart was merry. See, so Nabal was drunk. He was getting lit. Jigging. It say, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing, least or more, until the morning light. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became a stone. Right, man? So it say what? It says he that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. See, so Nabal didn't keep his mouth, so his life was taken from him. He had a stroke. Right? And it came to pass about 10 days after that Yahawah smote Nabal that he died. See? So, all right, man. So Nabal had a stroke, but he was still alive, though. And he was paralyzed on his bed like a stone. But then 10 days later, Yahawah struck Nabal and he died. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. I'm going to say it again. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. Nabal didn't keep his mouth. And Yahawah Bahasham judged Nabal. Watch what you say about the men of Yahawah Bahasham, man. Watch what you say, man. Watch what you say about the men of Yahawah Bahasham, man. Watch your mouth. All right, so with that, I say shalom.